Hi there. Welcome to Parts Algebra Learning Guide. This is our last video for week 2. So I'm hoping you've got some good notes that are going to help you with the content for this week and you're kind of getting back into the routine of doing math. This video is going to focus on solving rational equations. And I gave you a good example here of how we multiply by that would-be common denominator to clear the fractions. So it makes it for a nice and easier equation for you to solve. We talked about that in the part 5 video, and I will link that in the description below. That way that you have it. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time a new video is posted. Let's jump in. So we've got an equation here that is a little bit more complicated. If you'll notice from part 5, our equations are getting more and more complex. I notice that I need to get rid of my denominators. And so you'll see that I factored that first fraction, that denominator, as x times x minus 2. And I'm going to multiply by my least common denominator, which in this case would be the x times x minus 2. I'm going to multiply by it so that my equation no longer has fractions in it. So let me create some space to do that because I want us, for our note's sake, to be able to see all of those good cancelings. So there's my terms. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by the least common denominator. I'm going to go ahead and mark through what cancels. So you'll notice here on this one that both terms cancel there. Then I see an x cancels here and here, and I see an x minus 2 cancels there and there. Now let's write what we have left. Looks like I have a 10 here. Don't forget my plus. Then it looks like I have 4 times x minus 2, and that equals, looks like 5 times x. So now you have an equation you can solve that doesn't have any fractions in it. So let's distribute the 4. That gives me 4x minus 8. Combine our like terms. 10 minus 8 is 2. And now I need to move all of the x's to one side. So I'll subtract the 4x. That gives me 2 equals x because you can see that my 4x's cancel. So I get that x is 2. Now, normally I would say, oh, that's our answer. But I want you to look at the denominator. What is wrong with x being 2? I hope you see that if x is 2, we get a 0 in the denominator. And if you type 5 divided by 0 in your calculator is going to give you an error. So, because we got a solution, we call this an erroneous solution. We got a solution and it doesn't work in our equation. We say there is no solution. No solution. That's called an erroneous solution. All right, look at number 2. It says the final exam counts as 2 test grades. Brooke has scores of these. What does she need to have on the final to get an average of 80? Now, you and I remember that finding an average is about adding and dividing by the number that's there. So let's add these test scores up. And then we need 2 final grades, right? I'm just going to call it X. I put it in there twice because remember it counts twice. If it counts twice, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 test grades that I'm going to divide by. And I want this to be at least an 80. Okay, so whip out your calculator. I'm grabbing my old school for function here. I'm going to add up those numbers just like you would. And I get 386 plus 2 x's. It's got to divide by 7, and that equals 80. So how do we undo this? We multiply by 7. That gives me 560. Now you can subtract by 386. And I'm running out of room here. That'll give me 2x equals, now 560 minus my 386 gives me 174. And then you can divide both sides by 2. Looks like she's going to need to have an 87 on that final counting twice in order to be able to score the 80 that she wants. All right, friends, one more problem here for week 2. We have a builder that reduced the price of a model by 30%. If the new price was 455,000, what was the original price and how much was saved by purchasing the model? So if we reduce the price by 30%, then we know that we have 1 minus 30% of the original price, which means we have 70% of the original price. I'm going to call X is 455,000. So I've got 0.7x equals 455,000, and we can divide by the 0.7. So again, going back to my for function, I'm going to type in my 455,000. I'm going to divide by 0.7. And it looks like the original price was 650,000 was the original price. How much did we save by purchasing the model? We can do 655,000 minus the 455,000. I think I said 655,000 when it's 650,000. We just need to subtract those two, and we save 195,000 by purchasing the model. So I hope this helps you with week 2. I left my social media handles if you want to connect with me for more math help, or you need some other math resources, or you have a question. Please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to connect with you and help in any way that I can. All right. Bye-bye for now.